Tonight, under the gentle glow of lanterns and the whispering night, we invite you on a journey of peace, magic, and soft dreams. Welcome to the Lantern Parade Sleep Story. Hello, dear listeners. This is Evelyn Blackwood, and you're tuning in to Midnight Murmurs Radio. Tonight, we'll drift together into a coziest, magical night, a bedtime story, a sleep story carefully crafted for calm hearts and quiet minds. Before we begin, find a comfortable place to lie down. Feel the surface beneath you, whether it's a soft mattress or a cozy blanket. Slowly close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale gently. Let your shoulders soften, your jaw relax, your hands rest easy. With every breath, release the tension of the day, letting it melt away. Imagine a gentle glow surrounding you, a warm, protective light. This is your safe, peaceful space. The world beyond your window grows quiet. Every sound fades, leaving only the soft rhythm of your breath and the whispers of a magical night waiting for you. The town of Willowbrook lay tucked along the gentle curves of a river bend in New England, its streets cobbled and worn by centuries of footsteps. Autumn had arrived, painting the trees in a tapestry of amber, crimson, and gold. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of burning leaves and the distant echo of laughter from children gathering the last apples of the season. As Evie approached, lanterns of all shapes and sizes appeared along the streets and in windows, their flickering light casting long, soft shadows on the walls of historic brick buildings. Each lantern held not just a candle, but a story, a memory, a fragment of the town's past. The townspeople moved slowly, deliberately, as if savoring the fragile beauty of the twilight hour. You can almost hear the soft crunch of leaves underfoot, the gentle rustle of branches swaying in the cool breeze. Perhaps a lone cat crosses the cobblestones, its eyes catching the lantern light. The distant chime of a church bell marks the hour, resonant and deep, carrying echoes of centuries gone by. Tonight, the Lantern Parade is more than a tradition. It is a passage, a bridge between the present and the whispers of history. Families gather, holding handcrafted lanterns, some shaped like pumpkins, others like stars, even a few as tiny boats meant to float down the river at the parade's end. Children giggle softly, their faces illuminated by the warm glow, while elders share stories of lanterns that once guided lost travelers, or spirits that lingered in the foggy streets, remembered and honored in silence. In the quiet of your room, feel the gentle magic of the night wrapping around you. Imagine yourself walking slowly along the river path, the cool breeze brushing your cheeks. Each lantern you pass reflects in the water, multiplying the light into a dance of shimmering stars. You are safe, calm, and serene, surrounded by the soft murmur of history and memory. The town's old inn, built from timber and stone, stands proudly along the parade route. Its windows glow softly, and you might hear the faint strains of a violin or the delicate notes of a piano drifting into the night. Inside, a small gathering listens intently to an elderly storyteller recounting tales of Willowbrook from long ago, stories of brave deeds. quiet heartbreaks, and lives intertwined with the river and the lanterns. As you walk further, the lanterns begin to lift into the sky, carried by gentle strings or tiny flames trapped in paper vessels. The night air grows cooler, but the light warms you from within. The glow reflects off the river, creating a pathway of golden fire on water so still it mirrors the heavens above. This is a world of calm wonder, a magical night where dreams and history mingle in the soft embrace of twilight. Listen carefully, the soft whisper of the river, the distant laughter, the faint creak of an old bridge, and the flutter of lanterns in the evening breezel become part of your meditation. Every detail invites you to sink deeper into relaxation, letting the day's worries drift away like leaves upon the river's current thaw. Imagine holding your own lantern, the flame steady in your hands. You set it upon the water, watching as it joins countless others, floating slowly downstream. Each lantern carries a wish, a memory, a silent hope. You follow its gentle drift, feeling the night's magic, the calm rhythm, and the soft pulse of history in the air. With every step along the cobblestone streets, your body feels lighter, your mind quieter. You are a part of this tranquil parade, yet perfectly at ease, simply watching, listening, breathing in the serenity that surrounds you. The lanterns rise higher, and the night sky deepens into indigo, scattered with early stars. Peace settles into your chest and your mind. And now, as you prepare to drift even deeper, feel the town fade gently behind you. Their lanterns continue their journey, glowing softly in the dark, carrying whispers of the past and dreams of the present. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready for sleep. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. Asterisk, the lanterns had begun their gentle procession down Willowbrook's cobblestone streets. Each light bobbed softly, tethered by delicate hands, yet somehow floating as if carrying a life of its own. The townspeople, bundled in warm coats and scarves, moved with measured steps, a quiet reverence threading through their movements. There was no rush here. Tonight was not about hurry, but about reflection and memory. As you follow along in your imagination, the gentle hum of the river accompanies each lantern's passage. The water's surface shimmers with reflected flames, a golden path stretching beyond sight. Occasionally, a lantern tilts or wavers, its small flame flickering like a heartbeat, reminding you that even in the calmest moments, there is life moving quietly beneath the surface. You might hear whispers, carried on the breeze, stories of those who had walked these streets long before. A young woman, perhaps a seamstress, lost in the early morning fog, guided home by a lantern much like the one you imagine in your hands. An old man, his hair silvered with age, recalling the parade from decades past, remembering laughter and sorrow in equal measure. These whispers do not frighten. They invite you to listen, to feel the weight of time mingled with gentle magic. Along the main street, historic buildings lean slightly, as if sharing secrets with one another. Their brick walls are lined with ivy, turning deep red in the autumn chill. Windows glow warmly, each a small beacon of life within. Inside, families prepare quiet dinners, sharing bread and cider. Their laughter a soft counterpoint to the wind brushing fallen leaves outside. Imagine standing at a window, watching the lanterns pass, feeling the slow pulse of the town's collective heart. A subtle aroma of apple and cinnamon drifts from a nearby bakery, mingling with the crisp scent of fallen leaves. The senses awaken not with tension, but with comfort, a gentle reminder that life carries beauty even amidst its quiet mysteries. Birds settle into the branches for the night, their chirps fading, and the first hints of stars appear above the rooftops. Each star seems to echo the lanterns below, mirrored in the quiet waters of the river. Now, as the parade turns a corner, the sound of footsteps softens to a near whisper. The river widens here, and lanterns float more freely, their reflections creating a world doubled, one above, one below, both equally magical. You imagine letting go of your own lantern, watching it drift among the others, a tiny flame shedding its light with all around. The sensation of releasing, of trust in the current, brings an ease to your chest. Yet, beneath the calm, there is history. Willowbrook is an old town, and the walls and streets have seen both celebration and quiet sorrow. Some lanterns mark moments of joy. Others remember lives lost too soon. A sudden chill brushes your skin, but it is not frightening, it is history, brushing gently against the present, a reminder of the weight and beauty of lives long lived. Every shadow along the street seems to hold a story, yet none threaten your peace. They are threads in a tapestry, subtle and haunting, but ultimately comforting in their constancy. Children's laughter rises and falls like a delicate melody. A few pause to set lanterns upon the river, watching them bob and twirl. Families stand nearby, sharing whispered stories of grandparents, of legends told on nights just like this. Imagine sitting among them, feeling the warmth of connection, the slow heartbeat of the town, the sense of belonging that the parade creates. Now, the lanterns begin to drift farther along the river. You follow them in your mind, noticing how each flame casts patterns on the rippling water. The light touches the old stone bridge, the ivy-wrapped walls of a forgotten warehouse, even the mossy banks where the town's earliest settlers once walked. Every detail is vivid yet soft, designed to lull your mind into calm. The wind carries the faintest hint of music, perhaps from a distant piano or the soft strumming of a guitar. It is a melody of memory, ancient and new at once, weaving through the night. You feel yourself breathing with it, slowly, evenly, letting each note guide your heartbeat into a steady rhythm. Your eyes, closed in imagination, follow the lanterns as they rise higher, dancing like stars freed from the sky. And now, as you rest in this gentle procession, notice the soft whisper of your own thoughts slowing, the day's cares settling like sediment in clear water. Here, in the golden glow, in the warm hush of history, you are safe. You are calm. You are part of something quietly magical. Take one last deep breath in and release. Feel the parade fading softly into the night. Lanterns disappearing into the distance. Reflections lingering just long enough to reassure you that magic is real, even in quiet moments. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift further into peaceful sleep. Asterisk as the lanterns drifted farther along the river, A delicate mist began to rise from the water, curling around the stone banks and weaving through the old trees. The soft fog seemed alive, moving lazily with the breeze, catching the light of each lantern and turning it into a warm, golden haze. In this gentle shroud, the town felt timeless, as if you had stepped into a memory preserved from centuries past. The houses along the river had stories etched into their very walls. Some were whispered tales of the founding families, artisans, and wanderers who had carved out lives amidst hardship. Others spoke of sorrow and loss, of lives cut short or choices made in desperation. The night air carried these stories in hushed tones, blending seamlessly with the crackle of lantern flames. You can imagine walking slowly along the riverside path, each step cushioned by fallen leaves. The mist wraps around you like a soft blanket, and the faint sound of water lapping against the banks creates a rhythmic, calming pulse. Every so often, a lantern drifts close, its reflection shimmering in the fog, guiding your gaze and inviting you to linger in the moment. Among the spectators, a few elders pause to point out landmarks, recounting tales of the past. One mentions the old mill where a family once lived for generations, their laughter and tears echoing through the wooden beams. Another tells of the bridge where lovers once met in secret, and of lanterns that carried promises whispered under starlit skies. These stories are neither frightening nor harsh, they are coziest, reminders that every corner of Willowbrook has witnessed both joy and sorrow, all gently preserved within the town's soul. The children's lanterns bob and sway with the breeze, occasionally tipping slightly, but never falling. Their giggles echo softly in the distance, blending with the rustle of leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl. You can almost feel the warmth of the lantern light reflecting in their eyes, carrying a sense of wonder that transcends time. Further along, the old cemetery comes into view, its wrought iron gates silhouetted against the glowing mist. There is no fear here, only reverence. Lanterns are placed upon the stones, honoring ancestors and lives that shaped the town. Some of the oldest graves bear dates from centuries past, and faint whispers seem to rise from the earth, sharing their secrets in a language of memory and shadow. It is a quiet, reflective place where the past and present coexist in harmony, illuminated by the gentle flicker of candlelight dot. Nearby, the river bends beneath the old stone bridge. Lanterns float beneath the arches, their reflections doubling the lights into a mesmerizing pattern. The water carries them onward, as if guiding forgotten stories downstream, letting them mingle with the gentle rhythm of the night. You feel yourself following them, letting the currents of calm and reflection carry you further into tranquility. From the shadows, the faint sound of music emerges, perhaps a violin, soft and distant, playing a melody that has lingered in the town for generations. It weaves through the mist, touching each lantern, each memory, and every listener. You find your heartbeat sink in with the music, steady and slow, each note a gentle encouragement to let go of tension and sink deeper into serenity. A soft, unexpected breeze rustles the trees. For a moment, the lanterns sway, casting moving shadows that stretch and shrink across the ground. These shadows are not frightening, they are companions of the night, playful, fleeting, reminders that even in stillness, the world breathes around you. Each shadow tells a story, a child's laugh, a lover's promise, a quiet act of kindness remembered across decades. As you continue your slow walk in imagination, you notice small details, the soft shimmer of dew on it, the intricate patterns of ivy climbing an old stone wall, the distant chiming of a bell marking the hour. Every image, every sound, every flicker of light draws you further into the calm, magical atmosphere of Willowbrook's night. Finally, as the lantern parade begins to curve around the bend and disappear from view, you pause and take a deep, slow breath. Feel the mist on your skin, the warmth of the lantern light in your heart, the soothing hum of history and memory surrounding you. You are part of this gentle journey, floating with the lanterns, safe, serene, and ready to drift further into your dreams. As the story fades, allow yourself to sink deeper into peaceful sleep. The lanterns now floated farther down the river, their glow casting gentle ripples across the surface. Mist hung low, softening the edges of the town and creating a world where time seemed to pause. In this quiet hush, every sound becomes a delicate note. The subtle splash of water, the rustle of autumn leaves, the distant hoot of an owl perched high in a maple tree. As you imagined yourself strolling beside the river bank, notice the historic homes lining the streets. Their windows, aglow with candlelight, reveal glimpses of lives lived long before your time. In one window, a family shares quiet supper, the children's laughter rising and mingling with the warmth of the hearth. In another, an elderly woman traces her finger along a photograph, whispering names that have been part of Willowbrook for generations. Each lantern floating by carries not only light but memory. Some honor births, marriages, and joyful reunions. Others remember lives cut short, decisions made under the weight of survival, and the quiet grief that never left the town. In the soft glow, shadows twist lightly across the cobblestones, forming shapes that hint at past lives' figures walking unseen paths. Stories that persist quietly through the ages. You followed the parade to the old town square, where centuries of celebrations have unfolded beneath the same lamplight. A fountain murmurs softly in the center, the water glimmering like liquid gold under the lanterns. Imagine children running gently around it, their laughter mingling with the whispers of history. The square has witnessed countless stories, secret meetings, heartfelt confessions, small acts of rebellion, and moments of unspoken compassion. All these echoes linger, unthreatening but present, creating a tapestry of human experience woven into the very stones. The lanterns now drift toward the town's oldest church, its steeple silhouetted against the night sky. Here, some of the most solemn memories reside. You might sense the faint whisper of prayers once spoken, soft and almost imperceptible, carried along by the river breeze. These prayers speak of hope, of longing, of lessons learned and unlearned. They mingle with the gentle music of the night, forming a calming symphony that guides your breathing to match its steady rhythm. Notice the soft crunch of leaves beneath your feet as you follow a path winding behind the church. Lanterns hover above, flickering in the mist, illuminating inscriptions carved into old gravestones. Each name tells a story: a merchant who built his life on honesty, a mother who worked tirelessly to keep her children safe, a young man who dreamed of travel but never left the town. Every story resonates quietly in the cool night air, reminding you that each life, no matter how small, carries meaning and magic. Further along, you pass the old schoolhouse, now dark and silent. Its windows, once full of chatter and learning, now reflect the lanterns drifting past. Inside, shadows of the past seem to dance on the walls, as though the laughter and lessons of former students linger still. There is no fear here, only reverence, a gentle sense that history lives on, woven into the town's fabric like the soft threads of a well-loved quilt. As the lanterns reach the bend in the river, they float in a wide arc, their light shimmering against the water surface. You imagine joining them, releasing your own lantern, letting it drift freely. Feel its warmth, its gentle glow, and how it becomes part of the larger flow. Each lantern represents a choice, a memory, a hope carried forward. Intesa momentu are both observer and participant, floating quietly among history and memory. The night deepens, and a soft wind stirs the trees, brushing against your skin and carrying the faint scent of apple, cinnamon, and earth. You hear the distant echo of a violin, its melody intertwining with the ripple of water and the hush of leaves. This music, ancient and tender, seems to wrap around your body, lulling you gently toward deeper calm. As you take one last slow, deep breath, feel the weight of the day melting away. The lanterns continue on their quiet journey, leaving trails of light in the mist, illuminating the night with their soft, magical glow. You are safe, peaceful, and connected to the gentle rhythm of Willowbrook, where every shadow, every whisper, and every lantern carries its own quiet story. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift even deeper into peaceful sleep. The lanterns now floated toward the old river bend, where the town's history feels most alive. Here, centuries of Willowbrook stories linger in the mist, the echoes of early settlers, merchants, and families whose lives shaped the rhythm of the town. The river bends gently, reflecting the lanterns like floating stars, and the soft fog carries whispers of choices made long ago, of secrets kept in quiet corners, and of moments when joy and sorrow entwined. You walk slowly alongside the water, feeling the damp chill of the night air, yet warmed by the golden light of lanterns drifting in front of you. Each flame seems to carry memories, some bright with laughter, others dimmed by loss, but all part of the same luminous procession. In the distance, the faint outline of the old warehouse stands silent, its boarded windows hiding stories of labor, hardship, and lives touched by chance. Along the riverbank, you notice small details illuminated by lantern glow. A forgotten bench with initials carved decades ago, a stone wall softened by ivy, and a narrow alley where shadows linger like echoes of old conversations. These quiet corners of Willowbrook hold traces of human experience, moments of courage, moments of sorrow, and moments of tenderness. As you breathe in, feel the weight of history settle gently around you, grounding you in the calm rhythm of the night. Children's laughter rises briefly, fading into the mist. As they release lanterns onto the river, each lantern drifts with the current, carrying unspoken hopes and small offerings to the night. Families watch, faces soft with reflection, understanding that this gentle ritual connects them to generations past. In your mind's eye, you follow the lanterns downstream, imagining their glow touching old bridges, cobbled streets, and the quiet homes of the town's earliest inhabitants. And then, just beyond the bend, you notice a subtle shimmer in the fog, a faint silhouette of figures moving among the trees. They are not frightening. They are part of the town's memory, guardians of stories, of choices made, of lives lived. Perhaps a young man once lost his way, guided by a lantern like yours, finding not just his path, but a lesson that shaped the town's future. Perhaps a woman quietly tended her home, her kindness, leaving traces in the hearts of neighbors, who would carry her memory for decades. The lanterns continue to drift upward, and you feel a soft lifting in your chest, a sense of being gently carried by the current of history itself. The glow casts dancing shadows along the river bank, revealing details you hadn't noticed before. An old bridge where lovers met in secret, a weathered fountain inscribed with the names of those who came before, a willow tree bowed low over the water, as if whispering its own story to anyone willing to listen. The night deepens, and the mist thins just enough to reveal stars overhead. They mirror the lanterns floating below, creating a pathway of light, both above and beneath, guiding you to a place of quiet reflection. The air is rich with the scent of earth and autumn leaves, the faint aroma of candles, and the soft whisper of history itself. You inhale slowly, feeling every tension release, every thought settling, as if each lantern carries away a worry or a burden. Now imagine pausing at the river's edge, watching all the lanterns drift into the distance, glowing softly until they are part of the mist. The town seems to breathe with you, each heartbeat of the past echoing in your own. You are part of this magical night, connected to the river, the lanterns, and the stories that shaped Willowbrook. And as your mind grows quieter, Evelyn Blackwood's voice returns, gentle and warm. Thank you for joining me on this magical journey through the Lantern Parade. If you enjoyed this story, consider supporting Midnight Murmurs Radio by subscribing, so we can continue to bring you more peaceful nights, magical tales, and calm dreams. Until next time, may your sleep be deep and filled with wonder. Take one final deep breath. Feel the warmth of the lanterns, to soft mist and the quiet magic of history surrounding you. The night holds you gently, the river hums softly, and every shadow whispers peace. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift fully into a peaceful, restorative sleep. Asterisk, as the river's gentle murmur fades behind you, a cooler breeze drifts through the streets of Willowbrook, carrying with it a different kind of magic. The lanterns of the parade have dispersed, but their glow lingers in the mist, and with it, echoes of stories left untold. Tonight, the town seems alive with memory. Every shadow a whisper, every corner a silent witness to the lives that shaped it. You walk slowly along a narrow lane lined with historic houses. each one steeped in secrets. Some walls bear faded inscriptions, barely visible beneath creeping ivy. Some windows, shuttered for decades, seem to watch you pass. Here, the past and present exist side by side, moments of joy intertwined with moments of loss, triumph and regret mirrored in the calm night air. The mist thickens near the old mill, and with it, a faint, ethereal light flickers through the fog. It is not a lantern, nor a reflection of one. It moves with a life of its own, casting soft shadows across the cobblestones. Locals whisper that this light appears only on nights of the full harvest moon, guiding lost travelers or revealing secrets of the town long forgotten. You feel a gentle pulse toward it, curiosity and calm entwining in equal measure. Alongside the river, the sound of water flowing over ancient stones merges with faint, almost imperceptible echoes footsteps from a time long past. A door creaking open somewhere, soft laughter drifting through the night. These are not frightening sounds. Instead, they are threads connecting you to the lives that unfolded here. The shopkeeper who kept a secret ledger, the seamstress who once stitched hopes into every garment, the child who learned courage along these very streets. Each presence lingers, a testament to the town's resilience and quiet drama. As you continue walking, the old cemetery rises from the fog, its wrought iron gates partially open. Lanterns placed there during the parade have long since drifted away, but the stones themselves hold memory. Names etched in granite whisper through the mist, telling stories of ambition, of mistakes, of lives shaped by choices made under pressure and circumstance. You feel their presence, not as weight, but as gentle guidance and invitation to witness history and reflect upon the invisible threads that bind community, legacy, and consequence. A subtle wind carries the faint scent of old books and candle wax, guiding you toward the historic library near the town square. Its windows glow softly, illuminating shelves stacked with tomes that have survived centuries. Some of these books recount town histories, others chronicle unusual events à l'antenne that floated upstream against the current, a clock that moved backward, a whisper of voices in the mill after midnight. The night seems alive with these small mysteries, each one a reminder that history is rarely tidy, and that the unseen layers of life often hold the richest stories. Further along, the silhouette of the old stone bridge emerges from the fog, arching gracefully over the river. Beneath its shadow, the water reflects lanterns long gone, shimmering with a ghostly light. Local legend says the bridge once bore witness to choices that altered lives, forever a clandestine meeting, a decision to forgive or betray, a moment of courage or hesitation. The echoes of these moments seem to ripple through the river, visible in the soft glow, felt in the hush of the mist, lingering as a gentle reminder that the past is always with us. The night air grows cooler, carrying with it the faint strains of a violin, distant yet hauntingly present. It seems to play for no one and everyone, weaving between the buildings, through trees, and along the river. You can imagine the musician long gone, yet the music persists, a bridge between time and memory, sorrow and solace, fear and calm. Every note encourages slow, measured breathing, each one guiding you deeper into reflection, relaxation, and gentle curiosity. In this quiet exploration of Willowbrook, you notice small, magical details. A cat slipping silently across a garden path. A lantern's glow catching on a puddle to form a miniature moon. The flicker of shadows behind window panes that seem to move in rhythm with the river's flow. The town is alive, not in a way that startles, but in a way that draws you closer to its hidden stories, its delicate magic, its unspoken lessons. And now, as you pause near the riverbank, you can almost sense the presence of all who walked here before: the millworkers, the shopkeepers, the children, the elders. They are neither ghosts nor spirits of fear. They are the living memory of Willowbrook, gentle guides through its mysteries, companions in a magical night, reminding you that every choice, every life, every moment carries weight and wonder. Take a slow, deep breath. Let the mist, the lanterns, and the river's hum settle in your mind. Allow yourself to drift gently as Willowbrook whispers its stories, guiding you toward calm, toward reflection, toward dreams that mingled with history and magic. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The mist thickened as you followed the riverbank, curling around the old stone buildings and drifting over the cobblestones like a soft, ethereal blanket. Lanterns had long since faded from view, yet their glow seemed to linger in the fog, as if memory itself refused to vanish. Willowbrook, in the quiet of night, felt alive with stories that had never been told, each shadow carrying echoes of choices made decades, even centuries ago. A faint light flickered ahead, moving with a subtle rhythm that seemed almost intentional. It was not a lantern, nor the reflection of one. It seemed alive, guiding your steps along a path less traveled. Locals whispered that it was the memory light, appearing only when the town's forgotten tales needed to be remembered. Some said it was a remnant of a lantern parade from 100 years ago, still drifting through time, carrying wishes, regrets, and silent confessions. As you follow the glow, the air grows heavier with history. The buildings lining the street appear older, their brickwork etched with the marks of generations. Windows once bright with life now stand dark. Yet if you listen closely, faint whispers rise from within. These are stories of the town, its inhabitants, the seamstress who stitched dreams into every garment, the millworker who hid secrets in ledger books, the children whose laughter was cut short by illness, leaving memories lingering in the streets where they once played. The river reflects the moon above, yet beneath its surface, the light of the memory lantern dances like spirits brushing the water's edge. You feel a presence, subtle but undeniable, the essence of those who came before. Their choices lingering in invisible threads woven into the town's fabric. Some of these threads are joyful, celebrating courage and kindness. Others bear the weight of sorrow, unspoken regrets, and consequences that stretched far beyond their origin. Passing beneath the old stone bridge, you notice carvings weathered by centuries and symbols etched by those who came seeking comfort, love, or solace. It is said that those who walk beneath the bridge at night can feel the town's heartbeat, the cumulative pulse of all who lived, loved, and erred within its borders. You pause, sensing the rhythm in your own chest, a gentle reminder that past and present are connected, intertwined, inseparable. Alongside the bridge, the faint sound of music drifts from an unseen source. It is not lively or celebratory, but soft, haunting, and reflective of a violin playing a melody that seems older than the town itself. Each note carries emotion, longing, hope, remorse, and gentle forgiveness. The music winds through the streets, touching lantern-lit memories, brushing past forgotten corners, and intertwining with the soft rustle of autumn leaves. You breathe with the rhythm, each inhale and exhale sinking to the town's quiet symphony. Nearby, the old town hall rises from the fog, its silhouette imposing yet comforting. Windows reveal flickers of shadows, not threatening but suggestive of lives once lived. Inside, stories linger on meetings where difficult choices shaped destinies. Debates where courage and fear danced together, and quiet acts of compassion often overlooked by history. The walls absorb these energies, and in the still night, they whisper them into the mist, carrying lessons to anyone who listens. A narrow alleyway draws your attention, partially hidden by ivy and mist. It is said that during the lantern parades of old, people would leave notes, hear messages to the past, confessions, hopes for the future. Some notes were never found, yet the energy of those words seems to remain hovering in the air. You imagine stepping closer, feeling the presence of those unspoken thoughts, the weight of choices made quietly, and the gentle reminder that every action leaves a trace. Further down the riverbank, a small chapel appears, almost invisible in the fog. Its doors are closed, but the air around it hums with remembrance. Here, townspeople once sought guidance, forgiveness, and clarity. The lanterns of the parade were set to pass this sacred space with extra care, as if honoring the many souls whose prayers still lingered. You pause, sensing the calm and weight of the chapel's history, letting its serene energy settle in your mind. The night deepens, and the mist rises higher, softening the world around you. Lanterns, music, whispers, and shadows mingle seamlessly, creating a magical, reflective environment. You breathe slowly, feeling the stories of Willowbrook wrap around you, guiding you through history, through memory, through lessons of courage, loss, and quiet redemption. As you stand by the river, the memory lantern floats just beyond reach, glowing softly like a promise that the town's stories will never be forgotten. Its light touches your heart, reminding you that you are part of this continuum, that each life, each choice, and each moment holds significance. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful, restorative sleep. The mist thickened along the river, curling around the old stone bridge and the edges of Willowbrook's narrow streets. Lanterns from the earlier parade had long since disappeared, yet a soft, lingering glow remained, a memory etched into the fog itself. You feel drawn to it, sensing that, tonight, the town's hidden stories wish to be remembered, not as fright, but as echoes of lives once lived. Near the riverbank, the silhouette of the abandoned mill emerges. Its timbers creak softly, and shadows seem to move across its walls in rhythm with the water. The mill once supplied the town for generations, but behind its industrious facade were untold stories. Workers who labored long hours, children who ran errands to help their families, and families whose fortunes rose and fell with the river's ebb and flow. Each echo, soft as a whisper, carries both triumph and regret. You notice the subtle sound of footsteps that do not quite match your own. They belong to those who have walked these streets before. A mill hand whose small act of courage saved a neighbor from misfortune. A merchant who withheld a harsh truth to protect someone dear. A young woman who dared to dream beyond the town's boundaries. These footsteps are not threatening. They are reminders that every life leaves a trace, and that choices, however quiet, ripple through time. The lanterns above the river seem to react to these stories, their glow pulsating gently, almost as if acknowledging the weight of memory. You follow a small wooden footbridge that arcs across a bend in the river. Beneath it, the water carries reflections of the past, faint shapes of people, whispers of voices, and glimmers of objects that once mattered deeply to those who walked these streets. You feel their presence as a soft pressure in the air, a reminder that Willowbrook's history is alive, ever present, and quietly instructive. Nearby, the old town hall casts a long shadow across the square. Its windows are dark, yet faint light seems to escape through the cracks of the shutters. Inside, the echoes of debates, conflicts, and reconciliations linger. These are the small human dramas that shape the town. A dispute over land, a secret agreement to protect a family, a silent act of justice that went unnoticed. Every detail is infused with the same gentle magic that now surrounds you, transforming the night into a living memory. A narrow alley draws your attention, half hidden by ivy and fog. It is said that in the lantern parades of old, townspeople would leave messages here, letters never sent, confessions never spoken, wishes for redemption. You imagine pausing, feeling the air thick with unspoken words and unresolved choices. The alley is quiet, yet every step resonates with the lives that pass through it. Joy, sorrow, courage, and compromise, all intertwined in a delicate balance. The river bends again, and the chapel appears through the mist, its silhouette softly illuminated. Its doors are closed, yet you feel the energy within the prayers, hopes, and regrets of generations. Lanterns that once passed its steps seem to honor the souls inside, guiding them gently toward peace. You sense that every story in Willowbrook, every hidden sorrow or quiet triumph, is connected to this sacred space, and that even in absence, it holds profound meaning. From the mist, a faint melody drifts on. Ancient violin, delicate and somber. It seems to play from nowhere and everywhere at once, each note carrying sorrow and beauty, caution and hope. You feel your heartbeat slowing in harmony with the music, and a sense of understanding arises. The choices of the past are neither ghosts nor punishments, but lessons wrapped in memory. Every act, every hesitation, every act of courage or compromise lives on in the town, quietly shaping the present. The fog thickens slightly, and for a moment, the lanterns reflect not just in the water, but in the shadows on the streets. Figures appear, silent, unthreatening representations of the town's past. A child learning kindness, a young couple sharing a secret smile, a weary worker offering help to a neighbor. These visions are fleeting, yet they imprint a gentle awareness. Willowbrook's history is both a warning and a comfort, a testament to human resilience and the unseen consequences of choice. Finally, as you pause on the riverbank, the memory lantern glows brighter than ever, floating just beyond reach. Its light illuminates the mist, the old buildings, and the invisible stories etched into the town's heart. You breathe slowly, letting the weight of history settle around you, a reminder that life's choices ripple beyond the moment, and that every act, large or small, matters in the quiet pulse of existence. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful, reflective sleep. The fog thickens, wrapping the streets and river in a soft, almost tangible embrace. Every step along the cobblestones feels slower, deliberate, as if the night itself urges contemplation. Lanterns may be gone, but their memory hangs in the air, and with it, the unseen stories of Willowbrook awaken to meet you. You pass the old textile mill, long abandoned, its windows dark yet whispering faint echoes of labor and sacrifice. Here, generations of workers toiled under long hours, the rhythmic pounding of looms echoing through the walls. Some found quiet triumph in their craft, while others bore the weight of hardship, illness, and unfulfilled dreams. Occasionally, a faint glow appears in the windows, flickering like candlelight, but it is not alive. It is memory, a trace of lives that left more than shadows behind. Near the riverbank, the sound of water mingles with whispers. You sense footsteps that do not belong to the present people who walked these streets decades ago. A young girl once ran here with a lantern, her laughter cutting through the mist, chasing away the shadows of the town's darker corners. Nearby, a man hid his true intentions in secret ledger books, hoping no one would see. And yet, the river remembers. It carries their stories quietly, reflecting their choices in its moving surface. As you continue along the path, a narrow alleyway emerges, almost invisible in the mist. Legends say that during the lantern periods, residents left messages, here letters never sent, confessions never spoken, small hopes and regrets folded into the shadows. The alley seems alive, pulsating softly with echoes of lives that intersected here. Neighbors who forgave, others who held grudges, moments of courage, moments of betrayal. You feel the presence of these lives gently pressing against your awareness, a reminder that every choice carries unseen consequences. The old chapel rises through the mist, silent yet commanding attention. Its doors, weathered with age, seem to breathe in the night air. Within, whispers of prayers linger, memories of solace sought, regrets voiced, and hopes left hanging. The lanterns that once floated past its steps honor these quiet moments, as if acknowledging that even the smallest acts of reflection and courage deserve recognition. You pause, feeling the weight of history settle softly around you, an almost tangible presence that guides your heart toward understanding. From the shadows, the faint sound of a violin drifts, again distant, melancholy, yet strangely comforting. Each note resonates with the stories of Willowbrook, the seamstress who gave all she had to feed her family, the young man who took a wrong turn with lasting consequences, the child who learned a lesson of kindness that rippled across decades. The music intertwines with the mist and the river, wrapping the town in a cocoon of reflection, guiding every step you take with a gentle, unhurried rhythm. The lantern's glow, though no longer visible, seems to linger in your imagination. They reflect not just light but memory, showing glimpses of moments hidden in the folds of time, a quiet reconciliation in a dimly lit home, a whispered promise exchanged under the old stone bridge, a small act of bravery unrecorded in any history book but felt profoundly in the lives it touched. These stories hover just out of reach, visible in spirit, teaching that even the smallest action can shape generations. As you reach a bend in the river, the mist parts slightly to reveal a forgotten monument, a weathered statue honoring the town's earliest settlers. Its features are softened by time, yet its presence is undeniable. Lanterns once floated here, marking remembrance, forgiveness, or hope. Standing before it, you can almost hear the voices of those who built Willowbrook, voices carrying laughter, debate, regret, and wisdom. They remind you that every decision, no matter how hidden or small, contributes to the collective story of a place, a people, and a life. Finally, you pause near the water's edge, taking in the complete scene, the river flowing gently, the mist wrapping the streets, the faint traces of music and memory dancing in the fog. The unseen lanterns of history guide you, teaching patience, reflection, and calm. Every shadow, every whisper, every memory reminds you of the intricate weave of life and consequence. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful, restorative sleep. The fog thickened around the riverbank, turning familiar streets into shadowed corridors of memory. Lanterns had long since disappeared, yet their light lingered in the mist, weaving through the town like a gentle pulse of history. Willowbrook seemed alive in a way that was neither frightening nor threatening. It was alive with memory, with echoes of choices that had shaped generations. Ahead, the old mill loomed like a silent sentinel. Its timbers creaked under the weight of decades, and faint whispers drifted from the darkened windows. Stories of workers who toiled in silence, families who struggled and persevered, and lives altered by single decisions seemed to rise from the wooden beams. Some stories were tinged with sorrow, some with triumph, but all were etched into the fabric of the town. As you listen, the faintest flicker of lantern light appears, guiding your gaze to details you may have missed before. A carved initial, a faded mural, a stone worn smooth by generations of footsteps. Near the river, a narrow alley opens into view. It is said that this place holds the town's hidden truths, letters tucked into walls, whispers of confessions left unspoken, acts of courage that never made the history books. You imagine walking slowly, feeling the air thick with stories waiting to be acknowledged. The alley hums softly, alive with the energy of lives intertwined. Moments of betrayal balanced by acts of kindness, Silent suffering met with quiet heroism. Decisions whose repercussions stretched far beyond the moment. The chapel rises ahead, its doors closed, but its presence commanding. Inside, centuries of prayers linger in the air. Lanterns once floated past its steps, marking reflection, remorse, and hope. You sense the gentle guidance of those who came before the elders. The children, the families whose lives were woven together by circumstance, choice, and consequence. The music of a distant violin drifts once more, haunting yet comforting, each note carrying the weight of past regrets and the grace of quiet redemption. Turning along the river bend, the faint glow of the memory lantern appears once more. It hovers just beyond reach, illuminating shadows that shift with the fog. In these shadows, the faces of Willowbrook as they passed emerge: a young woman carrying hope through hardship, a man seeking forgiveness for a misstep, a child learning courage through quiet trials. None of these visions are frightening. They are gentle reminders that every life leaves an imprint, that even unnoticed actions ripple through time. Across the river, the old town hall stands silently, its windows glint faintly in the mist, reflecting the lantern's glow like tiny stars. Here, crucial decisions of the past were made, debates that shaped commerce, justice, and community. Some choices brought prosperity. Others left scars that persisted quietly, hidden yet enduring. The hall hums with memory, and you feel each story brush against your awareness, teaching that history is alive, not simply recorded, but lived in every shadow, every street, every ripple of the river. As you pause at the river's edge, you notice a soft breeze stirring the mist. It carries scents of candle wax, old books, and autumn leaves, mingling with the faint echo of distant laughter. You sense the presence of all who walked here before, silent companions who witnessed the town's joys and sorrows. Their energy is calm, guiding you gently, allowing you to reflect on how lives intersect, how actions echo beyond sight, and how even the smallest decisions shape the course of generations. Finally, you let your eyes settle on the water, watching the soft reflection of the memory lantern. It moves slowly, deliberately, floating through the mist like a guide. You breathe in, feeling a sense of connection to the unseen lives that surround you, the stories held by every stone, every building, every Willowbrook teaches patience, reflection, and awareness, reminding you that the past is never truly gone, and its lessons ripple quietly into the present. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift fully into peaceful, restorative sleep. The night deepens, and the mist thickens, curling around Willowbrook streets and riverbanks like a living, breathing presence. Lanterns have long since vanished, but their memory lingers in the fog, carrying whispers of choices and consequences that stretch back through generations. The town seems suspended between past and present, each shadow a story, each faint sound a lesson. Ahead, the silhouette of the old warehouse appears, dark and imposing, yet strangely inviting. Its walls have absorbed decades of human drama, small triumphs, whispered regrets, and moments of quiet courage. Some say the building holds the echoes of the town's most secretive acts. A mercantile decision that saved or doomed a family, a promise whispered beneath the roof that shaped the fate of countless lives. As you imagine walking past, the faint glow of unseen lanterns flickers through broken windows, illuminating fragments of memory in the fog. Along the river, figures emerge in the mist. They are not frightening. They are reminders of the town's living history: workers, children, merchants, elders, and dreamers, all caught in the subtle dance between choice and consequence. You notice the way their shadows shift in harmony with the river's flow, like reflections of decisions made long ago. Some choices brought peace, others left scars, but all are preserved in Willowbrook's quiet, watchful heart. The old stone bridge arches gracefully over the river. Beneath it, water carries whispers from generations past. You pause and notice faint footprints on the cobblestones, moments of bravery, small acts of defiance, and gestures of kindness that shaped the town quietly, yet irrevocably. The memory of these acts floats just beyond reach, mingling with the mist, the river, and the echoes of lantern light. You sense that every ripple in the water mirrors the ripple of consequence, flowing outward through time. From the fog, a violin begins to play once more, soft, haunting, and familiar. Its melody carries the town's sorrow and hope, intertwining past mistakes and redemptive acts. You feel your own breath align with the rhythm, your heartbeat slowing, your mind opening to the invisible threads connecting every soul who ever walked these streets. In the music, you hear the lesson. Choices leave traces, some gentle, some heavy, all part of the tapestry of life. Near the chapel, the mist parts slightly, revealing lanterns floating gently above the river once more. They drift upward, illuminating the fog in warm, ethereal light. You realize these are not ordinary lanterns. They are the memory lanterns, vessels of the town's collective experience, carrying joy, grief, hope, and remorse. Each lantern reflects a life, a choice, a consequence, and a story preserved in the quiet folds of Willowbrook's history. The streets feel alive, yet calm. Shadows of past lives mingle with the mist, forming fleeting visions. A young woman leaving a secret note, a child learning courage, a merchant quietly correcting a misstep. None of these figures are threatening. Instead, they convey wisdom and gentle guidance. You sense that the town itself is offering a final lesson. Every choice matters. Every act leaves an imprint, and even forgotten deeds ripple through the years. Finally, as you pause at the river's edge, the mist settles into a soft embrace. Lanterns, shadows, and whispers blend seamlessly, wrapping you in a cocoon of reflection, understanding, and calm. The town exhales with you, the river hums gently, and the echoes of Willowbrook's past carry you toward the edge of sleep. You feel connected, not just to the town, but to its history, its lessons, and its quiet magic. Evelyn Blackwood's voice returns, tender and warm. Thank you for joining me through the heart of Willowbrook, where every shadow holds a story and every lantern carries a memory. If you've enjoyed this journey, consider supporting Midnight Murmurs Radio by subscribing, so we can continue sharing magical nights, mysterious tales, and peaceful sleep stories. Until next time, may your dreams be deep, restorative, and filled with wonder. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the mist, the lanterns, the river, and the whispers of history settle around you. Let the night guide you, carrying you gently into dreams where magic, memory, and reflection coexist in perfect calm. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift fully into a peaceful, restorative sleep.